What's going on, guys? We're back for the next session of the package here at Twitch, here at YouTube. Remember, if you're watching on Twitch, it's Black Dragon Gaming for all your Pathfinder first, second, and Kingmaker needs. As always, thank you so much to Tim and Adam and Jason. This is our bi-weekly patron game. Your support means everything. To quote Juno, as far as I'm concerned, like the sun shines directly out of the orifices of the patrons. And don't take that's creepy. I'm quoting a movie, so that's good. But literally, we couldn't do all this cool stuff without you. It's like I'm honored to be able to call this my primary source of income. It has been nice. Last week, we fought a thing that was mean, and as I roll, everyone has their hero points. No, there was one hero point use. As we roll for hero points, I'm going to remind you guys that it's not tell me what happened last time. It's an in-character reflection. We want to know how Myriad, how the Reaper, how Trin feels about coming to this mansion, feels about finding a creature and slaying it, things of that nature. First up, this time will be our vigilante, the Gentle Reaper Hatsumi.
It's just another mission. It's not exactly in line with what I feel like I was put here to do or trained to do by my adopted raisers. But the fact that it was seemingly undead doesn't so much terrify the Reaper, but just annoys him because he doesn't get to have as much fun as he likes to.
That's fair. No chop it up this well. I guess you could, but it's definitely not a bad person like we saw in Almas. Very well. Take your hero point. Next up is you again. The RNG has spoken. It's not satisfied. It really isn't. Stop rolling twos. There we go. Next up is Myriad, our Kitsune formless ninja.
All right. Well, it's been fun, pretending to be other people and whatnot, but I'm pretty excited to actually be, fighting stuff, because we haven't done that, at all yet until now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been fun. Fighting this thing was a little creepy, but I mean, it's probably the least creepy thing we've seen. I'm kind of enjoying myself, actually.
Fair enough. Take that hero point. Trin, as the one who figured out that this thing was basically a werewolf, resisted most of the attacks, and then moved, technically you're standing right here, moved forward and stabbed the thing to its end. How does that make you feel?
Very happy not to be eaten.
Sure.
At the moment, my main thought is we are potentially in a very, very, very bad situation here, because there are still massive amounts of big uglies outside the fence. I need to find out everything I can about these things so we can kill them much more efficiently. And pretty happy that my old fencing master's instruction worked as advertised, as I stuck my sword through the brain pan of the nasty thingy.
And it did, in fact, die horribly to it, yeah.
I was going to be fair, we killed it pretty efficiently. It didn't get to fight back at all.
Surprise rounds are relevant at all times. Surprise rounds are relevant.
Yes.
Take your hero point, my friend. Remember, though we're doing this in 3 1-hour shots, they don't stack. It's one refreshing session. So I guess, again, we're just playing on mega easy mode. That might change. That might be a different thing that happens. We'll see. I don't know. I'll think about that between here and next week. For now,
don't worry. We know we're all going to die horribly this time.
Oh, yes, you are. The creature continues just to, as Trin runs it through, it to the ground and just begins convulsing. Initiative is off. You guys have the floor.
All right. I guess perception check on the room. See what's going on.
Okay, sure.
So roll that perception. Someone do better than me.
Not hard to do with a natural 6. Maybe not. Spoke too soon, didn't I?
It wasn't a 1.
Yeah, fair.
Speaking of rolling ones.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Leave it to Jay.
Oh!
Talking all that good smack was Tim, and that's apparently the motivation. Okay, so the room this is basically just a dining room. A pretty elaborate dark wood table, several chairs, one of which is clattered to the floor.
And a portable hole?
No portable holes, not quite. more important things. The side tables, you assume, were maybe for, like, not main members of the family who would still be the proverbial kids' table, if you will. 2 of them hanging out. There's the, like, sticking out from the walls are little like sconces for candles that are presently unlit. But as the Reaper and Myriad are looking around all this, Trin spends more time looking at the thing he just killed, and he watches, like, before his eyes, everyone was doing slashing damage or piercing damage. He looks down at the creature, and where Myriad's wakizashi had come across its neck, that wound is beginning to knit. It's pretty slow, but it looks like this thing isn't down for the count yet. In your time, you've heard of creatures like trolls, some outsiders, other magical beasts that can regenerate. Again, though it's moving much slower than your average, like, troll would, this thing's definitely regenerating.
Oh, okay. So separate its head from its body. And then keep an eye on it for a while.
That seems to be a good course of action.
Okay.
You got the separator.
Yeah. A kunai and a rapier
I do.
won't do a lot of separating.
I'll go ahead and separate its body, or its head from its body.
It takes a while. You're slashing. You're going faster than its regeneration does. But nevertheless, like, there's still super tough hide and hair and bone that you have to saw through to get its head off. You do so, and then, like, we want to sit and watch it. Is that what I'm understanding?
No, not sit and watch it. Just, like, come back and make sure that, like, the head's not regrowing every once in a while.
Fair enough.
One last thing. Any silverware in here?
Someone's been watching Cyberfell Hall. That's how they want you to deal with the vampires. There are... No, there's not. There's silverware, yes. Things for eating with, but they are not made of silver.
Yes. Okay. Gentlemen, seeing how the silver on this allowed a lot of help, anything made of silver is probably worth keeping an eye out for.
I'd also like to point out that while Tommy said important things, I would think a portable hole in a house this frickin' fancy would be fantastic. Because you can scrunch up some carpets.
That's fair, you can. That's how you'll make all your money.
I didn't say all the carpets and stuff in here are worth, like, tons of money, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They're gold.
There's gold.
I definitely want to, like, grab as much stuff as possible on our way
Like,
out.
I'm half tempted to just start a giant bonfire and then go back through the ashes and pick up the bullions of gold.
Yeah. That would work, yeah.
Might I suggest we not burn down the house, especially not while we're in it? Okay, I assume this has taken a couple minutes or a little bit of time.
Myriad's not the strongest, and there's DR in play, so there's a lot of, like, pushing the blade, like, because it's got one edge, so it's like put both your hands on the blade and push down to cut it.
Strongest. That is one hell of a understatement.
I mean, also,
does it help if I poke holes, kind of perforate it for him?
Yeah, it would make it a little faster. You're not sure how much more. Actually, I gotta. The GM must check a thing. Don't metagame. I forget how long this lasts because I've never used them before.
Be fair, my blade is real sharp.
It is. It is deadly. You get a +2 on a coup de grace.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Okay, so what happens? What happens is there's a silver sheen on the rapier right now, and that lasts for an hour. The creature, like, it continues to, like, writhe and seize up as Myriad's doing this. As Trin goes a poking, when the silver touches, the seizure intensifies. Does that stop anything? It's regenerating too slow even before you were to, like, go into it to be sure. But it definitely doesn't like it.
Let's try through the heart.
Okay. The same effect. You're definitely, like, silver causes a werewolf to have an allergic reaction. And when it's put on a pointy thing, that never really, like, how does that pierce when you're having an allergic? I don't have enough allergies to be like, oh, that's how that works. I guess it literally would, like, rapidly make the skin less, like, it would, like, soften it. And that's how the blade goes through, and it continues to convulse.
It all depends on how allergic you are to it.
Yeah.
Because I have seen it done multiple ways, where werewolves just have a rash allergic reaction, and other times it's anaphylactic shock. If it's anaphylactic shock, stabbing it in the heart, the particulates of silver would go throughout the body, and it just dies.
That's fair. That is definitely a thing. And ups to the guy who works in the hospital, who knows more about doctory things. I really love GMing for people who are smarter than me, because I learn things.
I also
The best
have a
way
father
I've
who's deadly allergic to bees and shrimp.
Oh, God, fair enough. I'll bear that in mind.
The one thing that I've always heard it likened to is silver to a lichen to lycanthropes. The silver, basically, you treat whatever is that touches them like it's white hot. So it's not an allergic reaction; it actually burns them.
That would make sense as well.
It interferes with their magic.
Holy water to a vampire.
Same idea.
Exactly.
So Trin pierces the heart of the not werewolf, and it continues to convulse. But then when the rapier comes out, it ceases to convulse. You're smart and you crit. You stab the thing in the heart, but the thing seemed to be some kind of undead, so it's like it's not going to pump anything through its bloodstream.
Does anyone know how to kill undead?
Gut it and find the onyx.
Have you tried stabbing it in the brain yet?
Yeah, that was the kill. The kill stabbed it in the
downed
brain. And you cut its head off. Its head is laying like 5 feet away.
All right. Well, then I think the best plan is just to, have the head very far away from the body, and then just make sure you come back every once in a while, because this thing's regenerating real slow, right?
Yeah.
Why is there 2 of them?
Because that's the head. just to clarify, it doesn't just. There's a second one.
Might I suggest we take the other head in the other room?
I toss it over there.
Toss in the corner. Okay. It rolls and lands with a sickening thud in the far corner.
I mean,
any signs of regeneration at the stump on the body?
Make a perception check. I think I've fed that natural 20 enough. 25, 24. Skipping a beat for the Reaper. The Reaper doesn't roll. Oh, the Reaper does roll. Okay, so Hasumi's a little too concerned with the fact that this is not her standard. Damn it, why do I keep calling you female? I am the worst. His standard fare, whereas Myriad and Trin both look down, and it continues to regenerate. The stump it's real slow. It's probably going to take a while, but not on the order of days, so much as like the order of minutes, probably, before this thing is up and moving again.
Maybe
The
we
only
should
thing-
find a fireplace, or if there's a way to deal with this that what y'all can think of.
The only thing I can think of, because I stay as far away from the upper level undead as possible, in not
good.
metagaming phrases, because I don't know how else to say that without sounding metagamey,
It's good practice, though.
is to remove the focus. There should be a gem if it's created via caster.
Can
There
you
should be an
justify that with a
onyx.
knowledge check? Like knowledge religion would be good.
I've got that,
Oh,
and that's
good.
not very good.
You might know that, but Hatsumi has no clue that there might be an onyx buried in there somewhere.
Which one?
And I'm going to go with a knowledge nature and a knowledge religion and maybe a knowledge planes.
Sure.
It costs me no initiative points out of my pool to add inspiration to them all. So I'll roll the 3 of them, then I'll roll 3d6.
Understood.
So
Cool.
Religion.
Well, that planes check's probably, even with a 6, not gonna like. It's probably just completely out of, like, it's the wrong field of thought. I don't know what those d20s are for.
I didn't say that. I said this. Okay.
1, a 5, and
another 5. Okay, cool. So I see a 22 inconsequential and a 24. Okay, so
26.
The nature check is enough that, like, Trin can work out that you're definitely dealing with, though it has the, like, characteristics of a shape changer, it has the characteristics of, like, a monstrous humanoid as well as some undead. You're definitely dealing with an aberration here. It's so many things have come together in this creature divided by 0 and been spat back out that, like, the only rule is there are no rules, basically. And that's standard fare for anything you would find, like, in the Darklands or in the Dark Tapestry and everywhere in between. So far as that religion check goes, you can confirm that, yes, if this was just a zombie, there's an onyx buried in there somewhere, and you could, like, yank it out. And that would stop the regeneration, but more likely, it seems to you that if you want to stop the regeneration, it's, in some cases, with your standard, like, plague-bearing zombie that isn't aberrant and scary, it's standard practice to burn the body. For this thing, you've noticed the only thing it's really reacting to, though you haven't tried fire, is it's reacting pretty hard to silver. So you think maybe, like, anointing the body with a silver sheen might cause a similar reaction, because, like, you hit it with your rapier and it hurts. You hit it with the rapier and it starts convulsing and shaking, and then the silver is removed and that ceases to happen.
Yeah. Well, we clear.
Good.
We okay. Next thing, is it healing on the stump of the head?
Yes. Also,
okay.
big ups to Cleric1997 on Twitch for hosting us. I appreciate it. You the man. Also, I'm not sure if I know you or not. I might. Oftentimes, it's my patrons that hang out on Twitch.
Okay. So it's healing from both of them.
Yes. You have essentially created a second one by removing the head. And you can rationalize out that removing an arm, removing a leg, removing any, like, body part major enough to be called a body part. Not like, oh, there goes a little bit of skin, there's another one. But something as big as, like, certainly the head would create a second.
So
might I suggest we find a fireplace?
Yeah, let's do that. drag the bodies out and then search the rooms for a. We didn't see a fireplace in that other room, right?
You did not.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I go collect my kunai.
Yes, sir. It is
Okay.
still in one piece.
All right. Yeah. Let's head out and very quickly search the rest of the rooms for a fireplace or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Understood.
have a torch. You could have a torch, right? Maybe you can torch it.
I should be able to set it on fire. But let's go ahead and I'll help drag the major part, and Myriad, if you would bring the head, because
Sure.
we both recognize that your base strength is lower than ours.
I'm strong enough to carry a head. It's fine.
Yeah.
You are now medium encumbered. I don't know. You might be. I have no idea.
Probably.
But
Okay.
probably to move with any degree of speed, certainly, it would take 2 people hauling the body. Because this dude was pretty big. Hi, Cleric, 1997.
Can I roll a knowledge engineering to create a smoke dispersing machine or apparatus?
Perhaps, maybe. This is going to need to be a good roll.
Okay.
Maybe less so for the alchemist, but for the vigilante, we'll see what happens. No, you cannot. You lack the tools. You lack the time. And both of those together, just got nothing.
So that's kind of you've got a ass ton of carpets and things.
Mm-hmm.
Make just set up a bunch of planes to disperse the smoke out.
Adam is
Let's
smart.
try-
Hasumi can't figure that out.
Okay, so into the next room.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So which there are
Carefully
so
looking for fireplaces.
there's a door there.
Yeah, let's go open that door.
Okay. I will remove it from the dynamic lighting. And I'll try not to remove everything at once, just the door. Bam. So as you guys are moving through, you definitely Hatsumi becomes aware of it as well. There's the spinal cord as it becomes the neck is slowly but surely legoing out down. It's gonna take a little bit longer, probably for an entire head to make a full thing, but there's a considerable amount of dragging involved with this one in such a way that it kind of has the very in the time it takes you to get from there to there, basically a new head has reformed. It's almost several of the perforations have healed over. The neck is pretty much it's pretty pink because it was just created and stuff, but it's probably not going to be much longer. That room opens. If you'd like to make a perception check, you may.
Do you want to just throw it on the carpet?
I don't want to catch the entire house on fire.
That's 2. That's okay.
That's a 2 is real bad. Okay, so with Myriad and Trin, and I have to constantly kick the dynamic lighting on and off to see what you see. The room moves forward, and then there's 2 stairs that lead down into. You're not sure what kind of room because the light doesn't extend very far, but there's definitely a very large carpet. Meanwhile, the Reaper can definitely see with the Drow Noble's much gooder dark vision at the end of the hall. There is, in fact, a fireplace.
Okay, we're going there. Show us to the fireplace.
As the Reaper moves in, there's a
go.
bit of a jump down as the Reaper moves there, and there's that red thing there is the same insignia as back down in the other room on that circular rug. The not.
So this thing is a fireplace?
This is a fireplace here. This is the wall comes up, and this is the Hermian flag, the not Hermian flag rather.
The not
So that's on the chimney.
Body and head are going right here, and then we are fighting. You said this was the the fireplace, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Body, head, start a fire.
Okay. I wish I have the grid on, so I can't make the head's token any smaller. I tried, though. The one on the right is the head. The one on the left is the body.
Dump one of my pints of oil on them and steel and flint.
All right. It definitely goes up.
Oh, sorry. Before we do that, I would stabby it a few more times, just to
Fair enough.
make sure it's... I want it as dead as I can reasonably get quickly before we set them on fire.
Accurate.
Are
Okay.
they burning?
You stab it, it reacts to the silver. You set it on fire. They make a perception check.
Just as a question,
Yes.
does it have anything on it of use before we burn it?
No.
And or is there a noticeable saliva coating on the teeth?
Basically, the only thing you could. Alchemical reagents are definitely a thing you could use. That's about it, though.
Like we could
You could
acquire
definitely-
some reagents?
You definitely could collect some saliva, bits of hair, bits of the skin of the thing, etc.
Craft alchemy?
Sure, go for it. And here's a
if you-
D4. I'm listening, Jason.
If you say anything about that, I would think about joining the party.
Yeah,
But-
it's, betwixt
Yeah.
that 14 wouldn't be a successful aid. But
Right.
between the two of you, you get, because this is happening around the time that the fire goes up.
Yeah.
To do this, the Reaper does have to move adjacent.
Yeah.
To run in and like pull a tooth. And it gives.
Wait!
Basically, no! Run, pull, go back. They catch fire, but they don't. Yeah, know what? Actually, I don't have any stealth. The perception. I'm gonna throw a d20 at the board. It's not gonna be good. Yeah, no. Okay, so everyone clearly sees the not werewolf that's basically formed as soon as that tooth is pulled back, its arm reaches out of the fire on fire. Here's an initiative board.
You could put that away.
No, I can't, and I didn't natural one this time either. So I'm cool. I might actually do a thing. Maybe not. So first up, it's Myriad.
And it hasn't gone yet this turn, so I'm going to take a step forward and I'm going to attack it.
Okay, understood.
I had them backwards the entire time.
What?
I too.
I was sitting here going that Trin was the old guy, and that Myriad was the other
Myriad is many people. If Myriad wants me to change Myriad's token, we certainly can. But that's the default, is old merchant.
Oh!
Okay. It definitely.
one.
If that's a natural 20, there's no need to confirm. It's an 18, so the confirmation definitely confirms.
I did confirm 25 there. Yeah.
So what we got? We've got
28 plus 6 damage.
34 damage.
Okay. I would like you to flavor that kill.
Yeah, I swing my my blade down as it's like trying to reach out, and I like cleave it right into the top of its head, and it like doesn't split it, completely in two, but like its head is now shaped sort of like a V.
Fair enough. And again, there's a lot of pressure that has to be pushed through, so there's a little bit of like, it doesn't give like you would expect its brain to give, but it does, like the arm burning comes out of the fireplace and you just nope, and it ceases to function again. Goodbye, initiative.
I told you could put it away.
Well done. That's how we do it.
Immediately, first action crit.
Nope. Feels good.
I just hand the tooth over. You might want this.
I don't get it, but I did like almost max damage.
You did.
You did an ass ton of damage.
I'll drop the tooth in a vial.
Okay.
Carefully.
You can also see that the tooth is... There's a bit of gum growing off the top of the tooth. It's probably going to take much longer. But eventually, you imagine that would form a full creature.
The term that comes to mind would be recognizable to any member of the audience who speaks Arabic. So, our two were friends here, are they actually burning, or are they just kind of burning?
Make a perception. Well, you already made a perception check. They're burning, but it doesn't seem to stop the regeneration. So, like, who knows what'll happen? Basically, again, like Trin has determined that right now the only rule is there are no rules. You might burn this thing down to a skeleton and it comes back. You might burn it down to ashes and the ashes might reform into a thing. It's the only thing it's reacted to so far is silver.
Man.
All right. Well, I mean, if we keep the fire stoked, it's not going to come back, right?
Okay.
It probably will come back as something.
Well, I mean, once the fire goes away.
He didn't answer the question as to whether or not the fire is outpacing the regen.
It's not that it's outpacing it so much as it doesn't seem to be harming it. Not in the, like, as fire would burn, like, a zombie's body. It's like, it might burn the flesh away, but it might still animate, because again, it's some kind of aberrant beast that's been created through science. It's the only thing that's reacted so far has been silver.
We need to find more silver.
There wasn't any silver in that kitchen, was there?
There was not.
That was? Yeah.
Was there anything silver in the bedroom?
There was not.
I should have some silver coins.
That is a thing.
Poke a couple. I'll put a...
Its head split in half. You can just sort of pop the...
Yeah.
Like a coin in a slot.
Yeah. I'll play a couple coins, see what happens.
Okay.
Are you being Magneto in X-Men First Class?
Oh God.
And just sliding the coin in?
And then you can, if that works, you can shove 2 coins into each of the eyes of the head.
And pay for its passage across the river Styx.
Right.
But so you put 2 silver in, you're down 20 silver, or 20 silver.
Yeah.
Jesus, you're down 2 silver, not 20 silver, and it convulses, it reacts. Even just the faintest touch of silver is enough to make. You've probably never seen a brain quiver in your career. That's what happens. A split brain begins to like a hot pasta in a pan, just all over the place. Though that doesn't stop. Like, it seems that it's gonna still, like, the regeneration is kind of shut off, but it's not completely done, and even then it may function without a head. It's hard to say.
I'm gonna search the room because we haven't done that yet.
That's fair.
Yeah.
See what's here. If I can find my perception. There it is.
Okay. Myriad's too focused on the fact that it continues to regenerate, it seems, whereas the Reaper... This room is just kind of just like, there's no furniture in it right now, but it just kind of looks like a sitting room with a little, like, up here is a little, not like platform, but it's kind of like, I guess the best way I can think to describe it is, I used to have an aunt who, like, her kitchen was, like, up here, and then you'd go around and there's stairs down that would lead to, like, the living room where the TV was. It's that kind of idea. That, like, by moving down a little, it kind of feels a little cozier. There's more of, like, a big up wall behind you. It's definitely warm in here now.
Uh,
All right. Well, let's keep searching the house. We've got coin in the head and a coin in the head. And so,
give me just a second to try one more thing.
all right, you try it.
Take another coin.
Right.
Start shaving silver off of it with a knife. Going for a quick pile of silver filings.
Okay.
Sprinkle silver filings on larger body. Does it help the fire? Trying to find something to keep them down for maximum amount of time.
Okay. That does seem to do a lot more, as like by doing this, Trin can rationalize out that it's a matter of coating the entire surface area is what does it. The more shavings go over this thing's body, the more the shaking intensifies, and eventually, though it would definitely, for a full humanoid creature, it would take a lot of time and silver. You probably, like, this seems to be on the right track, I'll say that.
Okay.
Anybody got a whetstone?
Yes.
Actually, let me get a quick craft alchemy check from anyone who can roll it. We'll go that way.
Okay.
Okay, so you two can both rationalize out that, like, if you were to anoint this thing with a silver sheen, that would probably, it's a matter of you need to cover the whole body with a thing, and a liquid could do that a lot easier than just shave a coin down and then just shave a coin down and go that route with it.
Yeah.
That should be able to completely stop it.
Well, I was thinking that you could shave a coin to make the silver. The words that aren't coming out of my mouth.
Silver liquid.
Silver
My
sheen.
life. Gotcha.
Okay.
Because you need oil or water to make a whetstone work. Hence the wet part of the whetstone.
Yeah.
Even though it's spelled completely different.
That it is.
All right, so is that what you're doing? You guys are gonna make the silver sheens for these things?
Seems to be the best idea. And we might want to make a few extra.
Yeah. Shoot, where is that for? I'm trying to find that in
Item?
the item because if I should definitely be able to put that together.
Yeah, it's a matter of time though. Like, it's not necessarily just bits of silver, water, whoop, silver sheen. So much as like there's a little bit of time involved, there's a little bit of heat, a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I can just keep stabbing at these things to keep them from coming back.
That seems accurate.
So you guys do that. I'll just cut ahead into every once in a while.
Unless Trin happens to have another silver sheen prepped.
I bought the silvering in town.
Ah, fair. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I figured, we're going out against presumptive werewolves. I figured y'all would do the same.
No, that's
the only one I can see is the weapon blanch. Silver. I don't see a silver sheen.
Oh yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah. Silver sheen is a silver weapon blanch. Blah.
Oh, okay. Now that I do know where is.
That's a craft alchemy DC 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm calling it silver sheen because that's what they call it in the playtest. That's why. Fair enough.
So whenever time comes, I'm more than happy to make that roll.
Okay, now.
Tell me. Okay.
I'll keep these things down for the count. You guys just make a couple of these things.
If you would like, I'll let you borrow my rapier.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I literally just have to cut its head every once in a while.
He just has to damage.
Okay. So what you guys could do is you could retreat back down to the back down to the safe room. You would be able to rest there. Let's get a quick perception check from everybody. Okay. Waiting on a myriad. So all three of you can rationalize that together pretty easily, that these guys, though they're pretty tough, they'll endure a lot of stuff. They, like... You're pretty sure that they're not the brightest in the world. So, like, they're probably just reacting to stimuli. Like, you guys came in the house and the creature didn't get up from the table, open the door, come find you. It saw you and maybe smelled you and reacted. So something like a closed door between you and it might be enough.
Okay.
Do you want to throw him back in the kitchen then?
Yeah, sure. We've fully checked out the... actually, we fully checked out this room. We haven't checked out the kitchen yet.
There was steps down somewhere, right?
The steps down are right here. And right here.
So they don't really go anywhere?
No, it's just like it goes down from the main room.
Yeah, we like did a full check of this room.
Mm-hmm.
But we like bought these things and then went to the kitchen and then came directly here because we were like trying to figure out what to do with these things.
That is correct. But there also is a door up here.
Oh, wait, what?
There's a door back, like you had to open a door to get here, so shutting that door might, like...
Wait, yeah. That's what I was talking about. Like, leaving
Just
this...
shut the door and leave them inside.
And leaving them in this room.
Yeah.
But there's only one door, way out of this room, right?
Correct. Just the one. Short of, I guess they could climb out the fireplace, but probably, like, they're actively reforming, so that might err in your favor if they tried to climb up the fireplace and then became too big to move any farther. And then you have a stuck undead werewolf monster in yonder fireplace.
All right, well, let's just leave this room then.
Okay.
Do we want to try to... You said this area beside where the stairs are is just a lowered area.
Yeah.
It's not down into separate rooms.
Right. It's just
right.
like, just kind of like a bigger thing you stand on, then you move down.
Yeah, we've fully checked out that room, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's go over here, make sure that we've checked out
Can we close this door?
That becomes the question, doesn't it? Yes, the door, there's definitely a considerable amount of hitch, but the door is able to be closed.
I scribe in it with my kunai. Open at own risk.
Don't dead, open inside.
All right, I'm gonna pop in here and check this whole place out because we didn't before.
Okay, fair enough.
I thought, well, okay.
The perception checks were made, they were bad, and the focus in the room at the time was actively regenerating aberration.
Yeah, we really didn't look.
The ARAs, if you will. Okay, I see a 27 from Myriad. I see a 19 from Trin. And a 28 from the Reaper. Okay, so like I said, it's basically the dining room. There's one bigger table with one chair clattered on the ground, two smaller off tables, again, like the kids' tables, if you will. There are several little like candle sconces in there that are presently unlit but could be lit. The floor is, now that you're not fighting for your life, it's like the tile is pearl inlaid. The table, much like the rest of this house, is just like a solid piece of dark wood. It might even be that, though they wouldn't be like mechanically powerful enough to break hardness or anything, but like those like candle holders kind of look like they might be made out of like an adamantine alloy. The place is extra, but there's nothing like anything else really here. Well, it's pretty dusty. There's enough, though obviously from dragging a corpse out and from the scuffle, there's a lot of it's been moved around. You guys can tell, it appears as if the man, and male he did seem to be, made his way in here and then sat down, indicating that like there was no prior struggle before you guys arrived.
All right.
Okay.
But you might even say that this house is plus ultra.
Accurate.
So we could either check another room or we could call it for the day.
You guys have you got like 4 minutes left.
Can we check another?
Yeah, you certainly can. Or you could, if you guys want to, I imagine call it for a day is go somewhere safe and then start making the stuff.
No, I meant like actually call the game.
The session.
Right, yeah. We're saying the same things.
Okay, yeah.
I'm cool to check
Yeah, let's check one more.
one more room.
Want to check this room?
Okay. Do you want to open the door straight in front of you, to your left or to your right? There are 3.
The one I am looking at.
Gotcha. Okay. We can do that. And how... Oh, I need my clicker. There we go. Okay, so you move the door. As you do so, make a reflex save. You're able to dodge back as this happens, but the door is... You're not sure how, but it's electrified. You put your hand on the handle and you quickly just whoop back.
Shocking.
Indeed.
I may not be shocked, but I am shocked.
Fair.
You, Mr. Wiseass, do you know anything about...
Disabling a device, or is it magical?
I don't know. It just feels tingly.
Can we check for traps?
Actually, the Drow Noble would definitely know it's not magical with that constant detect magic.
That's fair.
Can I disable device?
Yeah, you can roll it.
Well,
A 26 is good enough. The device is disabled. It no longer... You imagine it won't shock to touch it?
All right, then we'll open the door.
The door is fake. You open it, and on the other side, there's just a wooden wall. This door, much to how the other doors in the mansion work, where they're sliding like this. This door, as you go to open it, it does open out into nothing.
Okay.
So it's
What
just
about the one on the other side?
awesome.
okay. I will check
For trap.
Yes. I will check for traps. See, I have both the trap finding trait and the trap spotter +1.
Okay.
So
Sure. You're good at this.
so perception, I assume.
Yeah.
That does pose an interesting question. If you have constant detect magic, can you see someone who's invisible?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you can't see them, but you can detect the illusion, rather. Okay, with the perception, the door to your left and the door to your right, both of which are not trapped. They seem to also open in the same way as the rest of the house.
On the first round that you notice them, you'll notice that there's a magical aura in your vicinity. On the second round, you'll have a general direction, and then on the third round, you'll actually be able to see them.
Fair. I thought it just as a constant, the Drow Noble always operated as it had concentrated on it for 3 rounds.
No, I think it still takes the full 3 rounds for you to be able to see it.
Neither here nor there. Both of those doors are not trapped, rather.
Okay. Let's go for the one goodness. All I wanted to do was put a little bubble thingy. Well, let's go to the one to our right towards the door we came in.
Towards the door you came in, so that would be over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Give me this. I want to select it. I had it. There we go. Door opens.
Wait, wasn't that the one we just tried?
No, you tried this one
Oh.
here.
We tried, like, yeah, there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm down there, is because I just disabled the device.
Oh. Okay.
So I'll move over
Okay.
so we get the lighting.
Sure.
Okay. Do I... Okay.
What is that?
I assume perceptions all around?
Yeah, we'll go one more perception check from all the squad, and then we'll call it after the results of the perception.
Okay.
18. Oh, good. Oh, good.
Reroll that. Reroll that.
Now's the time. Oh, he did. Not even waiting. Just, oh, nope, click again. Okay, so 18, 18, 23. For a second, for just a second, that ladder that's right in front of Hatsumi's like, that's a mimic! No, it's not. Actually, it's a ladder that leads up to a trap door, which is like it directly like runs up into it. The rest of the room is... It almost looks like this room was just added on at the last second as like an afterthought. Just like
What's that?
random bits of stone. Be more specific. What is that? What are you? Do a scroll. That's another torch sconce. It looks like a lever or something, but it's just like it sticks out a little farther from the wall. The big selling point is there seems to be an up to the second floor through that ladder there, and it's just like this part seems very tacked on to the rest of the mansion. It's nice. It doesn't like look like it's going to fall apart as you step on it, but the stone, not only in and of the fact that it's not a very fancy like adamantine-esque stone, and like the patterns of the stone in the floor indicate that somebody just kind of hastily slapped this together and stuck it to the mansion basically, and that ladder leads up. And that is where I think we're going to call it for this time.
Dun.
Now that we've had a cliffhanger, it is good. And thank you guys so much for watching on Twitch and hosting and being amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my players for setting things on fire. And we'll see you next time. Now for real, say bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Later.
Ah.